because you had a very promising and not that you don't now, but a very promising and lucrative career in private practice. And you chose to come into the public sphere and to the public sector and to become an assembly person. So I think that's really noble. And I was wondering if you would share a little bit more about your journey and your why you did that.
Yeah, I've always had a calling for public service in whatever capacity that would be. I never really knew how that was going to pan out. I originally thought I wanted to be a police officer, and then ultimately I became a prosecutor and served the community, being the voice of victims in the courtroom. And what became clear to me very quickly, being a prosecutor, both at a local level and at a federal level, was that the real battle was the one taking place in the legislatures, in the political arena, because the prosecutor, the court, the judges, we can only do what the law allows. And the left has figured this out, and they figured out how to seize control of the levers of power in politics, and then they just change the law. So even if I have a really bad guy and I can prove he's committed a really bad thing, I can't lock him up if the laws don't allow me to do that. And so it became crystal clear to me that the battle was really at the State House, at least in California. And that's when I decided to run, because I didn't see anyone else running. It was sort of just your typical, people with political aspirations climbing through the ladder. And honestly, we can talk more about this. Most of the people in politics in the legislature, how do you say this nicely? They're not the think tanks. They're not really, they're not coming up with the policy and the strategies and the ideas. There's a lot of groups behind the scene that do that. And then just come to these legislators and ask them to, run this bill because it's going to help whatever disenfranchised group or this or that. So a lot of it's happening behind the scenes, and the legislators are being used, if you will.
Right.
And I wanted to go up there and be a true representative for my district.
Well, that's